Hello and welcome to the Cube Solutions front page editing tutorial. In this tutorial we will show you how to edit the front page of your Ninja FitKits website. Upon logging in and being greeted to your dashboard, we will use our cursor to find the section title Pages. Upon hovering over it, we will select All Pages. This will now load a page displaying all the current pages published on the website. Next, we will use our cursor to find the page titled Front Page. As you can see hovering over the pages, it gives us extra options. We are able to edit, quick edit, trash, view, or edit with Elementor. Please note that we will select Edit with Elementor as that is the page builder we are using. Once the page is loaded, we will begin at the top. Using our mouse cursor, we will first move around the web page. Moving around, you will see sections appear as you hover over different sections. Firstly, we will edit this top section. By using our mouse, you can see we are selecting the box selected in the blue highlight. At the top right, we have the option to edit this widget. In this case, it is a spacer. By clicking the Edit option, on the left hand side we have a new window appear. Here we are able to change the sizing for the spacer. We will put it back to its original at 500 and we'll move on to the next section. Scrolling down, the next section will be the title Ninja FitKits. Again, using the mouse to highlight the section, we will select the Edit Widget button. This will bring the new window on the left hand side. As you can see, we have the title Ninja FitKits. We also have the option to link this or to change the size and the alignment, either pushing it left, center, right or justified. We will place it back into the center. Next, we are able to edit the styling of this widget. Here we are able to edit the text color, the typography, which includes the font, text size, weight and so forth. We're also able to add a text shadow and to play with the blending modes. Lastly, for this widget, we have the Advanced tab. Here we are able to add margin and padding values. We're also able to add motion effects, background, border, change the custom positioning, edit the responsiveness, and so forth. Next, we will move to the next section. Using our mouse once again, we will highlight the section we want to edit, and we will select the Edit button. Again, on the left hand side, we have a new window appear. As you can see, we currently have the text introducing with an image Ninja Zone. Upon selecting the image, we have a new window appear. Here, we are able to align the image left, center, right, or no alignment. We are also able to edit the image. Upon editing the image, we can add alternative text, a caption, change the alignment, the size, and add links. Once we are happy, we will close this window. Moving on, we will now edit the button. Using our cursor, we will highlight the button and we will select Edit. Again, on the left hand side, we have an option to change the type of button. To change the text, the link of the button, alignment, size, we are even able to add an icon and change the icon spacing. Under the Style tab, again, we have the option to change typography, which includes the font, size, weight, and so forth. We're also able to add a text shadow, change the text color for the normal effect or for the hover effects. We're also able to add a background radius, as well as padding to the button. Lastly, in the Advanced tab, again, we have the option to increase or decrease the padding or the margin. We also have options to add motion effects, backgrounds, borders, custom positioning, and so forth. Next, we will scroll to the next section. As you can see, it is getting more complicated. We now have sections within sections. As you can see, we move our mouse down. This is the main section. If we click the 6 dots, we're able to edit the section. On the left hand side, we can change whether to stretch the section, making it full width or boxed, increase or decrease the column gap, height, change vertical alignment, and so forth. Moving on to the styling of the section, we are able to change the background, either put it as an image, either as a color, or to select an image as a background. We're also able to add a background overlay, border, shape divider, and edit the typography. Lastly, in the Advanced tab, again, we have the options to set the margin and the padding. As you can see, we have the margin set to 0 all round with a -10 at the top. We're also able to add motion effects, change the responsiveness, and so forth. Moving on from that section, going down, you can see there is another section. Again, we are able to click the 6 dots, giving us the window on the left where we are able to change the settings, including column width, gap, height, vertical alignment, and so forth. Next, moving down again, you will see we have 2 columns, a column on the left hand side and a column on the right hand side. First, we will edit the column on the left hand side by selecting the Edit Column button. Here we are able to change the column width, vertical alignment, horizontal alignment, and so forth. Under the Style section, we are able to add a background or a border, or edit the typography. In the Advanced section, again, we are able to edit margining and padding. As you can see for this column, we have a padding on the left and right of 10 and a 0 for the top and bottom. Moving on, in the column, again, we have the option to edit the widget heading. This is the same as before. We click the Edit button and we change what needs to be changed. Moving down again to the next section, we are able to edit this text editor. By selecting the Edit button, on the left hand side the window will show us the text and allow us to make the necessary changes. Moving down again is another heading widget. Clicking the Edit button allows us to edit the text and so forth. Moving on to the right hand column. As you can see, we currently have a video in this section. So we will click the Edit Widget button, and as you can see, it has loaded the video URL. Here we are able to change the style of the video, changing its alignment, the text color, typography, and so forth. Scrolling down, we will go to the next section. Again, we are able to edit the section by selecting the 6 dots at the top, or we can move on to the 3 columns below. Again, we are able to edit the column and to edit the actual widgets. In this example, we have a spacer, followed by another spacer, followed by a third spacer, and then our text, in this case, our heading widgets. Next, you will be wondering how we got that image there. For that, we will select Edit Column, and we will go to Style. As you can see, we have a background with the image selected. This will be the same for the other 2 columns. Scrolling down, we are now at the next section. As you can see, we are able to edit the section again, just as before, or we can scroll down to one of the 4 columns below. As you can see, each column includes 1 icon and 1 edit counter. By selecting the Edit button, we are able to change the values and settings for each of these widgets. Scrolling down, again we have one section that contains 2 columns. The left-hand column with 1 image, which we are able to edit, and the right-hand column with 2 widgets, 1 heading widget and 1 icon list. Clicking on the icon list, the window on the left will appear. Again, we will click on the title and it will show a new window. Here we are able to edit the text as well as change the icon and add any link to that text. Scrolling down to one of the last sections. Again, we have one section with 2 columns. Column on the left hand side contains a heading with Ninja News. Below it contains a post widget. Selecting the Edit button, we are able to choose the skin, number of columns to show, posts to show per page, whether to show an image, the image size, image ratio, and so forth. Going to the Style section, we're able to edit the column gap, row gap, alignment, card settings, which includes background color, border width, and so forth, the image, including its spacing, background color, text color, and so forth. We are also able to edit the content, changing its color, typography, and so on. Lastly, in the Advanced tab, again, we will have the options to edit the margin, padding, motion effects, the background, border, custom positioning, responsiveness, and so forth. On the right hand side, you will see we simply have a column with an image inserted into it. Selecting the Edit Image option, we're able to choose an image, the size, set the alignment, add a caption, or add a link. In the Style section, we're able to change the width of the image, the max width, and so forth. Lastly, in the Advanced section, again, we have the options to edit the margin, the padding, motion effects, the background, add a border, change custom positioning, edit the responsiveness, and so forth. Lastly, we will move to the bottom. As you can see, we have one section with one column. In this section, we have a heading widget, which includes Ninja Sports Is. Below that, we have another widget, which will be a text editor. In here, we have entered testimonials from clients. Below that, we have entered a button. Clicking on the Edit button will bring the window on the left-hand side. Again, we are able to edit the type, the text, the link, alignment, size, and so forth of the button. Once we are happy with our changes, you will see a button at the bottom left of the screen that says Update. Select this and it will now make the saves to your website.